All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Yeah.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show. Monday, March 18th, 2024. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Going pretty well.
There we go. Had a lot going on in the sports this weekend.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to Wapahani, who local high school here, who's going to be playing for a state championship, not this coming weekend because of the NCAA tournament will be in Indianapolis, but it'll be the following weekend. They'll be playing for a state championship, so that's cool. And also congratulations go out to Delta, who almost made it there, lost in 3 overtimes. Well, they would have been playing for a state championship in a different class, but congratulations to both teams.
But both those games was good games. I listened to both of them on the radio Saturday night. Hey, how's it going, Glenn? But yeah, they were some good games. Wapahani won in overtime. Delta went triple overtime and ended up losing by, I think, ended by 2 or 3 points in triple overtime.
Yep.
But yeah, so good luck to Wapahani. Hopefully they can win one more game.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Well, they beat the defending state champion this past weekend in that championship game. So I don't know that they're a favorite. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a tough game, but hopefully they can get the job done. Definitely good luck to them.
All right, I went 4-3 on Friday.
I went 5-3
on Friday. Illinois beat Ohio State, but didn't cover the spread, or I'd have had that one as well. I went 3-0 in NBA. I've been on fire in NBA last few shows. Was doing pretty good in college basketball. Struggled a little bit in college basketball on Friday. So I went 4-3 with my picks Friday.
Yeah, I went 2-0 in NBA, which is unusual for me. And, college, I went 2-2, and hockey, I went 1-1. Friday. Well, what'd you think of the men's and women's draws for the tournament?
I think a lot of the number one seeds is what everybody expected. I did thought that both tournaments, men's and women's, that the way the committee ended up laying the bracket out was kind of interesting, because I think you have UConn, who's supposed to be your number one overall seed. And I think, in my opinion, that they have the toughest bracket out of all the number one seeds. And you're supposed to be the number one overall seed, so you would think that you would think they would have maybe the hardest road to get there. I think Purdue got one of the easiest roads to get there out of the number one seeds, in my opinion. Hopefully, we'll see if they can cash it in and get to the Final Four and not get upset in the first or second round like they have been doing. And then in the women's, if you look at Iowa, the draw Iowa got, and they're supposed to be the number 2 overall,
Yeah.
1 seed, and they could have to play LSU in the Elite Eight.
Yep.
Which I don't know why you would have. Just some of the matchups don't make sense. Like, why would you have LSU and Iowa meeting in the Elite Eight? That should be a possibility later on in the tournament, you would think. So it's good. I thought some of the matchup, the way they laid out the brackets was interesting.
LSU got a 3 seed, I believe.
Yeah, I think they got a 3 seed. I just thought that was a little strange, especially with UConn, because UConn to me kind of got screwed. You're supposed to be the number 1 overall seed, and they got a tough bracket. Yeah, Glenn, I still think UConn's the best team. I think they have a good chance of repeating, but they did. Maybe that's why. That's why they gave them what seems to be the tougher road, is because they don't want to see a repeat.
On that side there in the East, you got UConn. I like Auburn a lot. You got Illinois, and you also got Iowa State. And then a team that I heard a lot about, maybe a sleeper team, is Morehead State. I heard they're a really pretty good team. But
yeah, that East bracket's stacked. That's what's strange for UConn, supposed to be the number 1 overall seed. I think the East bracket to me is the toughest bracket.
See,
Illinois just won the Big Ten tournament. Iowa State had a big win over the weekend as well. I can't remember who it was against now off the top of my head. Auburn's a good. That's
Iowa State beat Houston.
Yeah,
they destroyed Houston.
Yeah, and Houston's been number 1 a lot of the season. So I'm saying I think it's a pretty tough bracket. I do for the East. It's going to be interesting. Don't have see the men start tomorrow. I think the women's is on Wednesday. Is when the women start.
Okay, let's take a look at the South. You got Houston. The team that I think is going to come through into the Sweet 16 is Houston, Duke, Kentucky, and Marquette. Who I think is going to come into the make it through. Sleeper team to watch out for to me is James Madison. 31-3 on the year. I know they don't play the schedules some teams, but I know they're a solid team. I know they're a good team.
Yeah, I've watched them play a little bit. They're pretty good. You still have to, I think, favor Houston to come out of there, even though I know that you get beat pretty bad the other day.
Marquette could be dangerous if they've had some injuries. If they say that one player is going to be back that's been out. If he comes back and he's healthy and ready to play, Marquette's a dangerous team.
Yeah, Marquette's been. I've seen them play quite a bit this year too.
Over in the West, see, I thought the West was even weaker than the Purdue side myself. North Carolina was the number 1 seed there, and they're good, but and also have Baylor and Arizona, and a team that I did some research on and heard a lot about this weekend was Grand Canyon, and I like Grand Canyon to do pretty well.
What are you doing? What are you over there doing, dog? Over there tearing shit up?
What are you doing? Since he's on his own, I don't think he knows what to do. And then I got a sleeper team on the West is New Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, New Mexico's good, but maybe it wasn't them. I was thinking maybe they had somebody get injured.
They may have.
There might be another team. There's so many different teams. I get some of them confused. Yeah, I would say. The West isn't near as strong as the East or the South either.
Okay, and then the Midwest side, you've got Purdue, Gonzaga, Creighton, and Tennessee is who I got the 4 coming out. Even though I'm not sure. I think McNeese could take out Gonzaga. I like McNeese. They're another team that had like 30 wins.
See, Gonzaga. I'm not saying Gonzaga's a bad team, but they're not the team they have been the last few years. Tennessee, is decent. I've seen them and Purdue play earlier in the year. That was toward the beginning of the season. Purdue was able to get the win, but that was that one game I was telling you was an ugly game. That was one of them like tournaments at the beginning of the season.
I like Creighton a lot on that side. I'll give you what my Final Four I have down. I don't have anybody win it yet, but my Final Four I have UConn, Houston, Arizona, and Creighton.
Yeah, Arizona's pretty good as well.
That's who I'm going with my Final Four. And I'm leaning towards UConn at this point, but I haven't made a final decision on that yet.
Yeah, I haven't done a bracket or nothing yet, but I'm right now. I'd have UConn and Houston both in the Final Four. I think UConn's going to repeat. I wouldn't mind seeing Illinois go on a run because I watched the Big Ten. I mean Purdue. I'm not a Purdue fan. I've always been an IU fan. IU's terrible right now. Didn't even make the tournament. So I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if Purdue made a run because they are from here in Indiana. But it's just hard for me to trust them because they've been a number 1 seed or a number 2 seed. It seems like for the last 2 or 3 years, and somehow lose in the first or second round. If that happens again this year, I think Painter might be gone.
Could be in trouble. Do you think there's another Big Ten team that could make a run? I'm not saying win it all necessarily, but I'll tell you, I think Illinois is definitely. Wisconsin's another one, scrappy team. And Nebraska's not a bad team either.
No, Nebraska's not bad. But yeah, I think Wisconsin, the way they play, kind of fits good for a tournament format. And they were right there with Illinois in that championship game. And I know that wasn't the 2 teams a lot of people thought would be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Wisconsin could make some kind of a run. I'm not saying that they could win the tournament, but I think they could make a run.
What about in the women's? What are you thinking about that?
Of course, South Carolina has to be right up there as your favorite, undefeated. Iowa, of course, with Clark. Like I said, I think Iowa got a tough draw, especially for being supposed to be your number 2 over. Yeah, your second number 1 seed. But no, it'd be interesting. USC has that freshman that's real good.
Real tough.
That's been already setting records as a freshman. I think that's the thing about the women's tournament. The women's tournament actually has more star players that you know about than what the men's does. I can name off more of the women's players than I can men's players. I think some of that is I think you still have in women's basketball where players are there 2-3 seasons, where in men's now you don't have that as much, so it's harder to get to know the players.
Yeah, Albany in that first region there with South Carolina. I like South Carolina, Indiana, Nebraska, and Notre Dame, and I figure it's going to be probably between South Carolina and Notre Dame probably. I'd love to see Indiana pull off upset, but I don't think it's going to happen.
You think Indiana plays Fairfield or something? I think they only have like 1 loss.
Yeah. Yep. And then also in the Albany side, you got another Albany 2. You got Portland. Iowa, Colorado, LSU, and UCLA. Like you said, that's a pretty tough region. I think it's going to come down to Iowa and LSU. So I know UCLA is a good team.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's going to be. Yeah, UCLA is good. That's a good one. Nebraska's not a bad team either in that other bracket. Notre Dame has that one player. She's fun to watch. I watched some of that game last week. Hidalgo.
And then on the Portland side, you have Texas, Utah, North Carolina State, and Stanford. That's the 4 teams I got making it to the Sweet 16 there.
Texas was basically your like number 4 1 seed.
And I'm going with Stanford to come out of that region and make it to the Final Four. And then you got USC, Baylor, UConn, and Ohio State as the 4 teams I got coming there. And my Final Four would be For the women's, I got South Carolina and Stanford, and Iowa and Ohio State.
Yeah. I'd love to see Iowa and South Carolina in the championship. But I think the Iowa LSU game, if they do make it to each other, is going to be a tough one for matchup wise for Iowa, just because LSU's so big.
Yep.
But they do have Clark, they upset South Carolina last year to get to the national championship. So
yes,
it's possible. But no, I'll be watching some of it. Like I said, in a way, I think the women's tournament's a little bit more interesting than the men's.
Yeah, the men's.
And
team,
I'll watch a lot of the men's too. I mean, if I'm home, I'll be watching. I'll have a game on, and if I'm not home, I'll probably listen to a game on the radio, like I did the high school basketball this weekend. I enjoyed listening to them two high school games Saturday night. Other than I was trying to flip back, they were both
same time.
Well, they started close at the same time, and the Delta game was just at the end of regulation was they were both getting toward the last 2-3 minutes of the game at about the same time. Delta might have been just a little bit. Delta game might have just been a little ahead, so trying to flip back and forth and not wanting to miss. It was it was a little hectic there for a minute, but no, it was. And then have you seen the video? Have you seen the video of them them 3 threes that the Andrews boy hit it in a row in overtime?
Yes, I did.
Them 1-2 were way deep, and he hit that step back. Yep. Especially that second one. That second one, he just came maybe 3 steps across half court, pulled up.
Nothing but net, all of them.
And then that step back was not. But I was wondering if you'd seen that video. So I watched that video yesterday, and I was listening on the radio, and the announcer was saying from the parking lot, and he was pretty damn close because, like I said, he just crossed half court on that one.
Like I said, they don't play this week. They don't play till next week because of the NCAA tournament. But I think I've seen their games at 12:30 or 12:45. They announced the time of their game, so we may have a shot to watch it.
Oh yeah,
we got the Bearcat Rumble, but that's
that's it. And it's like 5 minutes from us, and then like we have to travel to get there.
Yep.
Other than I'm sure Marcus and Kelly are going to eat.
But we could probably wait till the game's over and still have time.
Yeah. Yeah, UConn women's still good, but yeah, they're not as dominant as they like they were. That's for sure. They're forever. They ran women's basketball.
Okay, Chris.
But Billy, I think your UConn men have a good shot at repeating. I really do.
Okay, you can't pick UConn's men, or you can't pick South Carolina, the women's. Who would be the team you would pick to win?
I would go in women's. I'd go Iowa because of Caitlin Clark's ability to take a game over, and they've upset it. They last year. This year they're number 1 seed, but last year they were able to beat South Carolina to get to the finals. Men's is harder because I don't think there's a big gap in a lot of the teams. If I wasn't going to go with UConn, I'd almost go with this is going to sound funny because I can see them getting put out in the first, second round. But I'm always going to go with Purdue because I like where they're at in the bracket.
They've got one of the best brackets they've had, but then again, they lost a 16 seed last year.
So like I said, that's why it's hard for me to say Purdue because of that. Billy says LSU in the women's. Glenn says Arizona in the men's. I can see that.
That's who I was going
to say. He says Iowa women.
I like Arizona and Creighton, but I'm leaning towards Arizona. But Creighton plays in a tough conference.
Like I said, I would kind of lean toward Arizona too. But like I said, I told you as soon as I saw the bracket last night, I like Purdue's draw.
Yep.
But also, like I said, I'm not a Purdue fan, and I also know their history of being a great regular season team and kind of choking in the tournament. So
I'm gonna make a prediction. Purdue at least makes it to Sweet 16.
if they don't, how many days before Painter gets fired?
I don't think they fire him. They may should, but I don't think they will.
Even if he don't make the Sweet 16?
I don't think they will. I think they'll be too afraid because they've been winning Big Ten championships. They'd be too afraid to get rid of him, and what could happen?
Well, I mean, I can understand that as well. I mean, there's no guarantee that you're going to bring in somebody that's going to be better or even the same.
And
so,
also, the system he has is he's taking players, getting players that are basically there for 3 or 4 years. They're not getting the big superstars that are leaving after 1 year or 2 years. Seem like his players have been staying. I think that system works out pretty good for them to be a Big Ten contender every year. And I don't know if you want to mess with that system.
It'll be interesting. It will be interesting. I don't think the women play till Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
If I remember correctly. To get the first 4 of the men start tomorrow, and I think the women is on Wednesday. Trying to see if I can find it real quick. I'm gonna just double check it when they do play.
I don't see them starting the day after.
No, yeah. I'm pretty sure it starts on Wednesday, but I'm not. There's not even. All this is showing me right now is the men's on FanDuel. Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's on it starts on Wednesday for the women, but yeah, I like in the women I like like I said, I like South Carolina and I like Iowa. Them would be my 2 teams. I think that's why I think the national championship is going to be Iowa LSU game. If that happens in the Elite Eight, is going to be a fun. There's going to be a lot of good games though. I mean, we've seen the teams beat each other. In Iowa State. Iowa would actually have to play a team in like the second round that they've split with this season, that they've actually lost to in the regular season, 1 game, and they beat them in the other games. I mean, Iowa don't have like I said, Iowa got a tough draw, I believe.
The games start Wednesday.
When
they got the first 4.
Yeah.
And
I know Iowa don't play till like Friday or Saturday.
They've got the 16 seed and a 12 seed and 12 seed playing Wednesday.
Glenn says he don't think the LSU women will make Elite Eight. Yeah, a lot of you're right, Marcus. A lot of the top teams fell this weekend. Purdue, Houston got killed. Purdue fell apart in that game against Wisconsin. I got to see. I watched a little bit of that game. Got to see the end of that game.
Well, there was 5 conference league champions who played in tournaments that didn't win their championships in the tournament. So that changed a lot in the seeds, and some teams didn't make it. I know McAfee was talking about Indiana State. They had the best ranking of a team
best
ever.
net ranking
ever not to make the tournament.
I was hoping they would make it, but I didn't. I had a feeling that they were going to be one of the teams left out when they didn't win their conference tournament. But I think they should have been in there, but I also think the Big East kind of got screwed too with St. John's and them teams not getting in. So
yeah, it didn't make sense to me. I mean, I think what did they get? Big East got 3 teams, and you give the Big Ten 6. You could have took one of the Big Ten. I mean, I'm a Big Ten fan, but you could have took one of the Big Ten teams out and give the Big East tonight.
Yeah, I thought the Big East got screwed it kind of as a conference. Yeah, Arizona's tough. They're a team that could win it all.
But they did say about St. John's what hurt them.
Well, we've also seen Arizona kind of like Purdue can struggle in the early rounds sometimes.
What I did hear was about St. John's was their non-conference schedule really hurt them. It was really, really low ranked, really bad. That's what killed them.
Yeah, Big East. They got their like UConn and got those three in, but there could have been another two or three. I thought St. John should have been in, especially the way they played the second half of the season. Not a whole lot of games today, because no college basketball till tomorrow, and then women's on starting on Wednesday, of course. NBA, I ended up going with 3 games for tonight. I giving out picks for. My picks on Friday were 4-3. Before that, on Thursday, I was 6-0. I had a good week last week. I was 7-3 one day last week.
Good week you had this year.
Puts me at 191 and 192 on the year. So
You're
not bad. Not as good as last year, but not bad.
You're gaining ground. You'll get back up there.
Real quick, what'd you think about the guy from Kent State called a timeout after it basically costed them the game?
Yeah.
He's been getting buried. He's been getting buried all weekend on the radio. He got the 1 point lead and then fouled on purpose.
Yep.
And then did you see in that one? I think it was in that. I think it was the Duquesne game where somebody messed up and hit the button and the confetti and everything fell with 18 minutes left in the game.
Damn.
Yeah, like 2 minutes. It's like 2 minutes into the second half, and they had to stop the game because you can't even see it here. It was fun.
Yeah, I was watching that Kent State game when that kid come down and fouled him, and the coach head about came off. Man, he about exploded. They like, what are you doing?
I forget the adult. I think it was Harlan was the one that was doing that college game, and the confetti and stuff started coming down like 2 minutes into the second half.
I'm looking forward to watching March Madness on Thursday, keeping track of it on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because we're going to be busy. We have a real busy, super, super busy weekend. Our busiest weekend that we have all year. We're going to Comic-Con and covering WCWO, but keep track of we'll keep track of the basketball.
Oh yeah. All right, for the NBA tonight, I'm gonna go with the Pacers at the -6.5 at home against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Pacers have been playing pretty good basketball. I know Cleveland's a good team as well. No Donovan Mitchell tonight for the Cavs as well, and Pacers being at home. So I like Pacers -6.5. Both teams haven't played since Saturday, so it's not a back-to-back for either one of them. And then we'll go with the 76ers at the -1.5 at home against the Miami Heat. And in my last pick for the NBA, I'm going to go with the Timberwolves at the -6.5 on the road at the Utah Jazz.
Okay, my NBA picks for tonight. I've got the Knicks at Golden State. I'll take Golden State -4.5. And I've got Minnesota -7.5 at Utah.
Glenn said, make sure you take your snack.
I'm going to have me some snacks every day because I don't know when we're going to get to go get anything to eat. And it's going to be crazy down there because of the NCAA tournament. So I'm going to have to take some snacks or somebody will die.
Oh, man. That was funny.
I'm going to have to definitely going to take some snacks. There's no way I won't make it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a madhouse to go try to get anything to eat.
It wasn't that bad.
NCAA tournament. It's going to be down there this year.
It wasn't that bad last year. They just had to shut Steak and Shake down because they were over an hour behind.
Yeah. And you know that mall's going to be packed this year because of that.
And this year, this year got an NCAA tournament. And then and all the other games I had tonight was hockey. I'm going to go with the Flames on the money line at home against the Capitals and the Sabres on the money line on the road at the Kraken.
Okay, hockey. I have Washington at Calgary. I got Calgary money line, and I got Buffalo money line at Seattle. That's my hockey picks. I only got 4 picks. I didn't have my college today.
Yeah, like I said, and then I got just a little over a week away from baseball regular season starting. It starts on 28th, so yeah, we're just a little over a week away from that.
We won't be doing a show Friday. We won't be here.
Yeah, yeah, and then what else? Join us tonight at 6:30 for GWR and speaking of WCW and Comic Con, owner of WCW, also pro wrestler JKO Joey Owens will be joining us this evening to talk about the big being at Comic Con this weekend, be their second year in a row for WCW doing Comic Con and talk about other big upcoming shows they have. I know they got a big summer coming up. So.
Yeah, WCWO man has been on fire since last year. Outstanding promotion, do a great job, and they're just killing it. So yeah, if you get a chance to see a WCWO show, come to your town, or can always go to Indianapolis. They're there every Friday night. Definitely check out a show. You won't be sorry.
Oh no, they always put on a good show. I'm sure it'll be an interesting conversation tonight, and you never know who else might show up with Joey Owens. So
Joey Owens show might be that no good skull crusher.
Yeah, you never know.
That's who's usually with him.
Could be him. Could be Big Pete.
Got Big Pete.
So,
as long as it ain't that Rotten Reggie. He's never brought that Rotten Reggie on with him.
Probably Marcus's best friend.
Oh yeah.
That'd be even funnier.
Yeah.
But well, do you have anything else for today?
No, I'm good to go.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll of course have some college basketball tomorrow. There's a few games tomorrow, a few games on Wednesday, and then really turns up on Thursday when you start that first round. We appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all at Gonzo Sports Room as well, and Instagram. We appreciate everybody watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow right around 3:00.
They were showing that when the confetti fell.